you hear me? Can you see me? My name is Jason Hart, and I'm going to tell you a story. I can picture you rolling your eyes already. I know you think you've heard it all, but you haven't heard anything like what I'm about to tell you. Trust me on this one. There is a small problem though, which you may not like. I will reveal the ending to you. A few minutes ago, I consumed a 200 milligram solution of yellow phosphorus dissolved in olive oil. I'm feeling just fine at the moment, if a little nauseous due to the oil, but pretty soon I will experience intense perspiration, chest pains, thirst, and arrhythmia. In an hour or two, regurgitation and abdominal pains will begin as my liver will start to give in. My blood pressure will drop and my pulse will become weak and irregular. And then the real fun will start. I will suffer from photophobia, oversensitiveness, cranial pains that will gradually progress to the spine, and internal hemorrhage. Hopefully I will have enough time to complete this narration before I die of hepatonephric failure. Can you hear me? Can you see me? If I'm doing this correctly, this transmission should be broadcasting non-stop. I hope I'm doing it correctly. I have no way of knowing. I need to tell the world what's going on here. There must be somebody out there who cares. Do not feel sorry for me. I deserve to die for what I did. I had no idea what was happening, but that's no excuse. No excuse. I should have known better than to do everything I was told to do without ever asking questions. I should have known better. I took the poison on purpose. It was my choice. They tell me I've always been good at making choices. That's what got me into trouble in the first place. They said I was a diamond, and I believed them. I'm getting sidetracked. I mustn't linger. Time is limited. It all started when I received a call from a man. Against my better judgment, I decided to meet him. Before we begin, I would like to clarify something.
Yes?
I'm not in the habit of meeting strangers in bars. Especially not male strangers.
I understand.
Are you sure you're not going to, hit on me?
As I told you 3 times on the phone, Jason, no. This is a business meeting. I may call you Jason, right?
Sure, and I'll just call you...
You'll just call me Mr. Hungerton.
I'm just trying to make sure you're not some middle-aged guy who likes the company of teenage boys.
I assure you I am not, but it's interesting that you still think of yourself as a teenager.
Well, I've only stopped being one, 3 months ago.
5 to be exact.
You know when my birthday is?
I know everything about you, my young friend. Jason Hart, age 20, born in Glenboro, Kansas, where you've been living all your life. You live with your mother, Carol Hart, age 48, cashier, divorced, no siblings. You quit high school 2 months before graduation. You have one friend, Robert, who has no friends.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
That was not my intention.
What is your intention, then, Mr. Hungerton?
I'm glad you asked, my dear boy. I want to offer you a job.
I guess that you haven't done your homework as well as you thought. I already have a job.
You are currently employed as a part-time office boy in the local newspaper. That's hardly what most people would call a career.
I suppose you have a point there. What is this job about then?
Before we go into that, I'd like you to answer some questions.
I'm listening.
Why did you come here tonight, Jason?
Curiosity, I guess.
I think we both know it's more than that.
We do? Enlighten me, please, because I've been asking myself the same question.
I think that deep inside you, Jason, you know that you were meant for bigger things. Deep inside, you know you were special.
You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. Nobody believes that his destiny is to have a dead-end job in a small town.
Why did you quit high school, by the way? Your grades were not bad at all.
You know about my grades, too?
As a matter of fact, your grades are what helped us track you down. To be exact, we have access to all the tests you took since junior high school. We are particularly interested in, let's call it, unusual activities of students.
And what sort of unusual activity did you notice in my tests?
All sorts of things, but especially your performance in multiple choice exams.
Mr. Hungerton explained to me that he works for an organization that recruits people with special skills. The name of the organization was Diamonds in the Rough. They specialized in finding those people, hiring them, and perfecting their abilities. Apparently, I have a special skill myself. It's hard for me to explain what it is, and it will be even harder for you to believe it. Ever since I can remember, when people asked me to pick out from a number of options, I was always able to select the one they wanted me to select. Note what I'm saying. The one they wanted me to select, not necessarily the one I wanted to choose. This is crucial for you to understand. Of course, it didn't always work. I needed to concentrate on the task in order to get it right. Actually, concentrate is not the right word for it, but it's the best I can think of to make you understand. By the time I reached puberty, I started to realize that what I had was not a common skill. It frightened me in ways you cannot begin to imagine, so I used it less and less often. After some point, I simply stopped thinking about it. It was as if it had never existed, until the DITR people found me. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. It's not every day that a small-town boy like me gets offered a big salary and a house. All I had to do was try it for a few days, and if I didn't like it, I could quit. If I did decide to do it, however, I would have to follow 3 simple rules. 1. Sign a 5-year contract. 2. Remain in a confined town for that period. 3. Never leave the town or try to contact anyone outside it. Everything happened very fast. They advised me against packing too many of my personal belongings. They would provide me with everything I needed there. I said goodbye to a few people, none of whom seemed to care much that I was leaving, including my mother. We boarded a private airplane. I have no idea where we flew to. I slept throughout the entire trip. I didn't even know which state I was in, and at the time, I didn't really care. During the first few days, they asked me to take some tests, some of them written, some medical. They were neither stressful nor painful. On the 4th day, I was given my first assignment. It was simply a question of choosing between 2 numbers that were written on a piece of paper. At the end of the first week, they asked me if I wanted the job. I saw no reason not to accept. It was the easiest job in the world. The money was more than I needed, and I had even made some friends among the employees. 4 weeks and several assignments later, I found something in my house that made me wonder for the first time what it was that I was doing there.